some of you newer subscribers may not have been familiar with some of the conversations that were going on when I first started the Kosabi Institute channel about the nature of extraterrestrial intelligence and whether or not aliens exist and these types of issues. And the video that I just posted was a sort of reference to that in a sense. While it may be the case that for the observer that the laws of physics would remain constant if they were within a sort of flux transfer event, they may not be able to, in a sense, be aware that their matter had been discontinued in some way. There might be something else that they could potentially grab onto as far as that relationship, the relationship that they had previously in their linear time stream with their world might be different. And that was one of the things that I was implying. Another thing that I was implying about this is that if you consider some of the reports or some of the stories that people have about their contacts with UFOs or extraterrestrial intelligence or whatever you want to call it, that the concept of this luminous thing seems to recur, and the encounters seem to be beyond their ability to articulate them. In a lot of cases, they just, I think the mind just kind of defaults to this schema. Oh, something very strange happened. I don't know what it was. And I was kind of supposing that this mechanism might be something about the nature of space-time that we're just sort of discovering, that might be, in a sense, an explanation for this, that might look differently on the outside than it would from on the inside. So in other words, if you were outside of this observation, if you were watching one of these flux transfer events, I mean, wouldn't the area or the matter or whatever just completely disappear and just be gone? Or is there some type of replacement that's going on with it? And I think that's a very interesting question if you ask what that means with respect to time and space itself, and the nature of planets and the nature of consistency of what we consider to be outer space. So I'm gonna link a couple of videos, and this video was actually sort of not a response, but in the continuation of this discussion. Brian had posted a video about the nature of gravity's relationship to consciousness, and whether or not gravity had something to do with the nature of consciousness. And this very much plays into that concept, because in a lot of the mystical schools there's also this concept of ascension, and there's this concept of the Merkaba, the light vehicle, or the vehicle of ascension. And there's mystical schools in training one to summon or create the Merkaba in their space. And so I was kind of pointing to that as a potential similarity in a physical mechanism, something that we've observed in physics now, that in a sense unifies this gap in the understanding between our spirituality and our science.